Hey guys, and welcome back to Tom's Garage. You join me with the 2024 Subaru Solterra in touring trim. Special thanks to Eaglesham Garage for loaning me this Subaru Solterra. Now, today's example is finished in midnight black. I did have a quick look at the configurator, and the dark blue mic is probably my personal favourite if I was going for this car. But straight off the bat, what I want to show you is the key, because it is a conventional key. Do you know some reviews I'm bringing you these days? I've got like a little credit card holder thing. This has got a conventional key, but what I wanted to show you was the AC button. So what that means is if the car's hot in a hot climate, which will be rare, admittedly, in Scotland, you can push that button and the climate's going to go on and cool the car down before you get into it. It is quite nice wee feature. Just waiting for that button to be a heated seat button. That would be quite nice. I know you can do things like that on apps and other cars. Now, pricing for the Solterra in the UK starts just over £52,000 as time of filming in October 2024. However, the limited trim is the one below this. This is the Touring, which is priced at £55,495. Now, what you're seeing here today is pretty much the top spec. There's not much more you can do. So it adds things like the panoramic roof, which does have a little shade, which is nice. We do have the Harman Kardon sound system and a couple of other little goodies such as the leather seats, etc. So there isn't too much you can add to the car. It's really just the basic one or the upgraded one. The limited model does come in slightly smaller alloy wheels, so this is riding on 20-inch wheels, which does affect the range. So the touring model we're in is 257 miles of claimed range, and the limited model is 288 miles. Now for today, I'm sitting at 82 miles at 43%, real world drive, and I've had the heated seat and heated steering wheel on earlier on. So that just kind of gives you an kind of idea of what you're going to expect. It is 13 degrees outside, and I'm getting 3.1 miles per kilowatt hour according to the readout on front of me there. Now, let's talk about the exterior styling first of this car. It's very close to the Toyota BZ4X, however, Subaru have done their best to make it look a little bit more adventurous, and it's got decent ground clearance as well. It's about 8.3 inches in ground clearance as well, which is more than, say, for example, the Volkswagen ID4 or the Hyundai Ioniq 5. And because this is a Subaru thing, it wants to give you the capability, so it's standard all-wheel drive in this car. And yeah, looking outside, it's got a slightly different front headlights to what we've seen in the Toyota products. And yeah, we've got little EV badges on each of the fenders, and then round the rear it says Subaru Solterra. The difference from the rear is the Toyota's got the bar light, and the Subaru's kind of got these claw-like lights at each side. They don't meet in the middle, unlike the Toyota one, but there's not too many differences in here. Now, opening up the boot, we do have over 450 litres of boot space. It's a nice squared off area, and it's got a little split bit underneath. You can put cables and things like that. The seats do fold 60/40 as well to give you even more room. And the side of the boot is not carpeted, which could be a pro or a con depending on how you're looking at this product. But if you're throwing things in, it's easy to wipe down. If you've got a dog, say for example a husky with long hair, then that's not going to get caught into the weave of the fabric. So that is something to consider if you're going to be throwing animals or using this as a more utility vehicle. They don't have to worry too much about the side panelling in there. In the rear, we do have seating for free, 2 cup holders in the middle. If you fold the armrest down, 2 USB-C ports, and the outer 2 seats are heated. A touch of a button in the middle there, you can heat and control the temperature of the seats. Not too much else to say. There is Chelsea anchors, good visibility out, pretty much the same kind of material quality that you would see up front. But yeah, it's decent, alright, just like what we've seen in the Toyota BZ4X. However, I do like the sunroof back there because it is split, and we do have the blinds. So yeah, that is a neat touch just to help lighten up that rear cabin. Now, as we make our way to the front of the car, this is where the similarities with the BZ4X are more apparent. First thing you're going to notice is the screen in front of the driver is lifted a little bit and closer to the windscreen than it is the driver. So that means it's almost acting like a quasi heads-up display because you're looking ahead and you can dip down and just see where the kind of speedo is or your range, whatever you want to see. But what it does mean is you've not got your traditional instrument display quite low, and it's a little bit similar to what we've seen in some of the Peugeots. But if the steering wheel, when you're raising and lowering, it doesn't go maybe all the way up, just because it will start blocking that screen. So you may have to adjust your seat a little bit lower depending on your height. I'm 5'11" for reference, but I've got myself pretty comfortable in here, decent headroom, decent shoulder room, and overall pretty comfortable in the Subaru Solterra. But I just wanted to show you that. Now, the next thing you're probably going to notice inside is this material going across the dashboard. It's a kind of fabric material, and that's similar to what we've seen in the Toyota, and it's also more trendy with other products. I've seen that, and other car manufacturers are bringing that into their SUVs, so we'll see how that tests of time. It just feels like an automotive circle. I vaguely remember some material being in dashboards of cars in the 90s. Obviously it's not the funky, wild, colourful prints, it is grey, but yeah, it's worth mentioning. The screen in the middle is straight out of Toyota and Lexus. That is the 12.3-inch touchscreen. It's fast responsive. We've seen it in the RZ, we've seen it in the BZ4X. I like it. It does have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. It's just worth noting, I can't seem to find a way to split the screen, so like in the other Lexus products, you're able to have like a dual screen, so you can maybe have things like your heated seat and all that on the right hand side, or even your radio and then your sat nav. I just can't seem to work out it's either or. I know you can see your radio in the little display up front, but it's just a little kind of something to let you know. Now, the volume controls in this car isn't like a rotary knob, it's a physical button to push plus or minus, just something again to mention. But we do have some physical buttons and these touch capacitive buttons just around that area to control things like your heated seats, heated steering wheel, rear defrost, whatever it may be. You can do that and leave it in auto, really. Like I've just left this in today, just like I do in most cars if it's got that feature, the auto for the heated seats and heated steering wheel, so the car's going to work out if it should be put on or not. Obviously you can override that and do your 3-stage heated seats if you wish. Below that, we do have 2 climate vents in the middle. Now, it is interesting because the ones at the side are running portrait and they're a little kind of skinnier, and then the ones on the centre there are more horizontal and a bit more rectangular. And we do have a hazard button in the middle with a big power button as well. Again, if you like buttons, this car's probably more for you because they've done a good balance of mixing the buttons and the software, whereas some brands are going full into just a big screen. Down below that, we do have some more buttons. This is where the Subaru is starting to differentiate itself from the BZ4X. We do have an Xmode. We can push that once, it comes up saying snow and dirt. We can push it a second time, it says deep snow and mud, and it turns off things that can see the forward collision and traction controls being turned off. So that is one of the main differentiating factors of the Solterra. Also has hill descent control as well as the hold assist going up the hill. Now, the rotary knob is straight out of the other 2 sister products. Push it down, twist it right for a drive, push it down, I'll push it into reverse while we're on this video. We've got a 360-degree camera and a very clear rear camera. However, if you can hear that, it consistently pings and bongs while you are in reverse. So that's just something to mention. Down below that, we do have a wireless charger with a USB-A charge port behind this little bit of plastic with kind of like a check pattern on it there. 2 decent sized cup holders, and then this little centre console here opens up, and it is pretty much lined with the fuzzy stuff at the bottom, and it is fairly deep. You could probably get a couple of bags of like treat bag snacks or something like that. It's worth noting the Solterra does not have a traditional glove box. It does have the storage underneath the centre console here, just like we've seen in the BZ4X. And unlike the Lexus RZ that had these little radiators for your knees on for the passenger and driver, this Subaru does not have it, and from what I can see on the website, it's not even offered, so that's a little bit of a shame. And the telescoping steering wheel is manual, it's not electric. So there is a little couple of things in here differentiating it between its sister products. The touring package does come with this leather or kind of leatherette seats with the kind of some stitching. Again, from what I can see online, it seems to only be this black interior that's offered. I have seen videos in the Americans where they have like the two-tone and things to get a little bit more options. Yeah, you're pretty much stuck with this interior black on black with the grey fabric. From what I can see anyway, it could be wrong, maybe your dealership can get you something special. It's worth noting that this car does come with a heat pump as standard, and also can charge from 0 to 100% on a 7 kilowatt home charger at 10 hours and 49 minutes, and max charging Speed is 150 kilowatts with a CCS charger. Now, the dimensions of this car, you might be curious, how does it sit? Well, as aforementioned, the ground clearance of this car has got 210 millimetres or 8.3 inches. The length is about 4.69 metres, width is about 1.86, and the height is about 1.65. So let's take it a quick drive just to show you an experience kind of what the Solterra is like on the move. Now the benefit of that all-wheel drive is if it's a wet, slippery surface, maybe it's covered in leaves like today, you're going to get that little bit more traction versus the front-wheel drive counterparts. Now the Subaru has designed this to be more comfortable, than it's not going to be an out-and-out right doing a performance vehicle on the road. Don't expect like a Tesla Model Y level of acceleration and performance and equal technology inside. This is more of a comfortable, usable, capable EV with off-road credentials that not a lot of EVs right now in this segment are offering their crossovers. So that is something to keep note. You know, if you're jumping out of a Legacy or maybe an Outback Forester, something like that, this is maybe the EV for you. It's got good visibility out front. I do like the front bonnet where it's got the kind of bits in the fenders that you're able to see where they are in terms of width, which is quite nice, just to help place the car down if you're going down the street, parallel parking, whatever it may be. So that gauge cluster's coming into effect. Now that we're on the move, I can glance down and see we're going 26 miles per hour, for example. We do have big mirrors at the side here, as well as good greenhouse visibility and the aforementioned 360-degree camera and reversing camera. So again, visibility should not be a problem, and it's a good height as well getting in and out the car. So if you're maybe carrying people, you know, find it a little bit tougher getting into lower cars, or if it's somebody that's you know, loading up child seats all the time, you might appreciate that little bit of height, just getting in and out to load the car seats into this Solterra. You know, everything else is pretty compliant, doing the steering and that. You're not buying this for blown away driving dynamics. It's pretty average in terms of the driving experience, but I guess that's what you expect from a car like this. Now, this is going to be a quick acceleration test, because 0 to 60 in this car is claimed 6.9 seconds, so definitely punchy enough. You know, I took my mum out in this car earlier on, and for sure it is giving you that acceleration that you expect from an electric vehicle without being like punching your face. So that is a plus. You know, if you're wanting an electric car to kind of act like your normal car, that's what this car does. Now, the sister car from Toyota offers a 10-year warranty. Now, this car doesn't offer quite as long range warranty. However, the fact they're using the same components underneath, and Toyota has that faith in their product, I'd like to think the Subaru one should be fairly reliable as well. Now, that is going to be my quick take and review on this Subaru Solterra Touring. Thanks once again to Eaglesham Garage for loaning me this car. It's been really great to have it on the channel, and it's been good fun to experience it and kind of cross off that trifecta of the three vehicles. So I just want to say thank you so much for watching Tom's Garage on this Subaru Solterra.